don't know if you can see the haze in the shop. We have been welding a bunch. I have got to get an exhaust hood in. And you can probably see pretty white haze, see it around the lights. I've been welding like mad. So I had got this end piece roughed out. I've burned up about 5 pounds of rod on this thing so far. I think these are 5-pound boxes. Yeah, 5 pounds. I'm running this with 70-14. I'm not saying it's the best stuff. I just happen to have a lot of it on hand, so we're running it. You can see, like, there's a spot that was there arced out. There is, and then I have put just huge amounts of rod in here because in order to get this end to fit right, I had to come in and cut and relieve stuff, and that made, there was just huge gaps. I've been filling and trying to keep it from warping up, so I keep flipping it, welding one area, welding another, but obviously I don't expect this thing to stay perfect. We're assuming, like when I rough bored these holes, I left them 200 thousandths undersized with the idea that when we throw this on the boring mill, we're going to bore it back square. Once I get done with all of this welding, I still have to come back and weld up those bores so that they can get recut to size. But anyhow, I would say at the rate we're going, I've probably got another solid hour of welding to get this structurally back to where I think it ought to be. And then that still doesn't include the fact that I want to plate all of this. So we probably got 3 hours yet of fab work before I even start welding those bores, and then it would be time to get this thing over on the boring mill. So it's a big project. There's just no two ways about it. But anyways, I'll bring you guys back when I got more to show. Alright, about to cash her in for the night, but we are getting doggone close. You can see we've pretty well poured the welds into her there and cracks. I gotta flip it, and I need a few more passes there and on this side here. And then I got a little bit of bridge over here I gotta build, and same thing down in this corner. Those are the spots where it was tweaked and it had huge gaps and was pulled away. But basically, as far as I can tell, it stayed reasonably flat. I was a little worried it might warp more than it has just because of all the straightening we did in the press. I wasn't sure what it would do when heat started going on it. But at this point, we're welded in so solidly to this tube on the end that it ain't going anywhere. So anyhow, I'd say another half an hour of welding on this, and she's going to be to the stage where it's ready for plating. I got to admit, I'm starting to second guess that and wonder if I'm just overkilling it. Looking at it, it didn't break. The failure was not a failure caused by overloading. It was a failure caused by pin coming out. So normal use, I'm not sure it could even break it, but we'll see. It's probably a good idea, a little bit extra insurance. But anyway, we'll be back at it probably, I don't know if it'll be tomorrow, probably Friday, because tomorrow I got to go down and finish up the job that I was working on parts for on the cat backhoe. So Wiggles has been playing here all day. Yeah, we got this pile of parts here all machined up. I gotta go install those. So anyway, that's it. I'll catch you guys later. So we're set up here on the welding bench. This is that cat 345 H-link. I got done fabbing on it earlier today as far as reinforcing it and welding it back together. Now we're just welding this pair of holes undersized. They were actually plenty tight. The bushings weren't loose. It's just an issue of there's enough tweak in them that I'm going to have to rebore them. So we're welding them under. What I'm hoping I can get away with, I didn't cut them oversized. It's a little risky because I'm going to be cutting from the, I'll be cutting through the weld because they're a little twisted. Part of my bore will be in virgin material, part of it will be in weld. Depending on how good a penetration I get out of the weld, we'll decide whether that works or not. It's not uncommon on the downhill side of the rotation for it to not actually be adhering all that well. But I decided I'd take a gamble at it. Bores were very clean and shiny, and I lacquer thinnered them down. Worst case scenario, if I get down the boring mill and I'm getting close to finish size and it's not cleaning up, I may have to go ahead and cut it oversized and re-weld it. But basically all I'm risking is an hour and a half of letting the bore welder run in it, and if it works, it'll save me a bunch of time over on the boring mill. So anyway, we'll see how she goes. I'm hoping to get her welded up tonight so that when I come back here Sunday afternoon or Monday, it'll be all cooled off and I can set it up and bore it. Just about to the end of our first roughing pass through here. We've been having a rough time of it, breaking tool bits and stuff, but if it makes it through this pass, then we're probably in the clear. Doing some ugly stuff in that hole, but it's always tough on the first pass figuring out where the surface of the weld is at. All that jazz. Well, hopefully today's the day. I got sidetracked by a quick surface grinding job that came in yesterday. I had to surface grind the sides of the main bearing caps for a racing engine. So anyways, that prevented me from getting this done, but hopefully today's the day. Fighting a lot of vibration and chatter. I'm stretched out here quite a ways, you can see, because I'm trying to cut all the way through both of these in one pass, and I can't tell if I'm winning or losing by doing that trick, because I'm having to take such light cuts that, like right now I'm only 25 thousandths on a side. If I go any more than that, she starts really humming. You can hear right now it's flirting with it even at 25. You can hear a little bit of talking happening, but anyway. So we'll see. I think I might, when I get down near to finish dimension, I might pull the boring bar and go back to single point boring head. That's what I was using before, but that was fighting me so bad in the interrupted cut, tearing up tooling, that I finally stopped. But we'll see. Alright, so we're done with the bores. I'm just squaring the faces back up now. Running 24 revolutions per minute, 2 thousandths of advance per revolution, and as you can see, it's about all she wants. It's getting a little chattery, but it is doing it. Loving that. We're going to call that good enough. I'm just trying to get it back to halfway flat, and I think that's close enough to halfway flat. I'll probably just take a grinder and blend in that step at the outside edge. But anyway, now we got to turn around and do the same thing to this face. Alright, we're about to start the finish pass on the last bore here. There she goes, she just started cutting. That's it, everybody. This one's for all the marbles. Then, so what I did here, I don't remember if I showed you, we weld a little tack weld in from the bottom, little hunks of bar stock like this, weld right over the top, machine it out, and then the weld ends up pretty thin over the heads of them, and then you just take a 3-pounder and smack them good and shear them on through the hole, and then just die ground and make a little burr there. But it saves having to drill the grease holes back out. It's weird, the welds that goober over into the grease holes usually end up so hard you break drill bits and stuff on them. don't quite understand what's going on. I think it's because it chills the weld really fast when it goes in that little hole, but anyhow, it just saves you some grief by doing it that way. Well, anyway, we're about to be done with this. So this pass, I'll take a final measurement, and then assuming I like the number, we'll be pulling her apart or off the machine. I got to do a little bit, you see like a little bit of weld over the edge here. I'll just touch that up with a hand grinder, and then take it to the press, shove some bushings in, and it's ready to leave. Well, hi everybody. We have finally hit the end of this project. I forgot to shoot any more video of the actual process, but I think you guys pretty well got the idea at this point. But this was a huge project, no two ways about it. But anyway, at this point, she's welded all back together, cracks all welded, this whole process we've been showing, bored out, honed the bores to final size, and then pressed all these bushings in, knocked the seals in, so that's ready to go. The H-link, or not, that's the H-link. Side links are laying here. Those, of course, we showed you before. Those have been done for a bit, so anyhow, this thing is ready to go back and get put on a machine. There's, as you can see, probably even in the camera looking at it, there's some, crazy torques and twists and bends. Like both of these have twist in them down the length of that, and we just strictly recut the ends, let that twist exist, and just got it squared up the other direction, added that plate for reinforcement, and then welded and bored it back all square. So the ends, even though the frame itself has crazy twists in it, both ends are now bored true back to each other again. So she'll go back to work and run, I would say, a long and healthy life from this time on. So anyhow, that's it, guys. We're ready to go on to the next project now. Catch you later.